I saw something in him when he went over the edge.
Something that reminded you of yourself? Listen to me, sir. Harvey Dent was twisted by ambition. He lost sight of his own humanity. That isn't you. You're still inside there, Master Bruce. I see it more and more, all the time. You've even made friends, in your own way.
4 of us against an endless tide. Dent was right. Those are terrible odds. But I'll take them.
Hello there, it's me, Animations Anonymous, and I'm here with my favorite co-host, God's Idiot.
Yes.
Anyway, we're back in 1940. What's up, guys? 40s? I don't know. But anyway, it's Animations Anonymous. We're reviewing Cape Crusader a week later. Yeah, about-ish. So I'm here with Greg. We're going to talk Batman for half an hour, 45 minutes, something like that.
Batman, once
Maybe
again.
longer. Buttman returns.
The Buttman.
The podcast.
Yeah, so if you listen to
Been a
this
minute.
now, our review of Deadpool and Wolverine drops. Definitely give that a listen. And I did a special solo Mark Media talking about the Borderlands movie. So by the time, by the time you hear this, those 2 will be out. So please give those a listen. Listen,
All right.
Listen to my disdain. It wasn't really disdain; it was more disappointment. But you know, potato.
I mean, sometimes they go hand in hand, like a child and its mother.
Like a psycho and a gun.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so Batman. I remember you.
I could have made it worse.
Yeah, you were the one who. I think you were the one who dropped the info on me that this was a thing. When was this show announced?
I believe 2020, 2019, something like that.
Really?
So,
oh wow.
Yeah. So what had happened was, they were shooting for this to be on Max because they were like, or Max and Cartoon Network, I believe, and then Warner Brothers went through the Discovery merger thing. So before they were owned by AT&T, AT&T was going under or some shit. I don't know exactly how it works, but long and short of it is that Discovery bought Warner Brothers, who owns DC Comics.
Yeah.
So Discovery put David Zaslav in charge, right? So he canned a bunch of stuff. So there was like a Wile E. Coyote versus Acme movie that he canned.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
I heard the synopsis for that movie. It sounded so good. Of course, can't have it.
Nope. He also kiboshed the Batman Beyond into the Spider-Verse-esque movie that was supposed to happen. He he shelved the Batgirl movie, which I don't know if anyone was excited for, but I know I wasn't.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. It was supposed to have Michael Keaton's Batman because Michael Keaton's Batman was supposed to be the main Batman of the DCEU before James Gunn and Peter Safran took over.
Yeah.
Because Affleck was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this shit no more. And then he canned this. So then it had to be shopped around to multiple people or multiple networks. So it was like, I think at one point it was either going to be Netflix. Netflix was in the bidding.
Yeah.
Apple TV, I believe. Hulu, and then Amazon. And Amazon won.
It's interesting.
So
they completely wash their hands of those movies and shit, but at least they let this one get shopped around.
Yeah, because I think they were already too far into like development or whatever you want to call it.
That Wile E. Coyote movie, from what I understand, was complete. It was like ready to be released, and they just ditched it.
That was a Scooby-Doo 2.
Well, that one too, but there was I want to say that Wile E. Coyote movie was finished. Had John Cena and everything, yeah, and then they're just like, nope, done. I think like
Nah,
just to
not this one.
get that tax write off. But
Oh,
it's
probably.
it's interesting because you said David Zasloff. I've been hearing him a lot in the wrestling news because he's fumbled this NBA deal so bad, and the reason why that has anything to do with wrestling is because, well, if Warner Brothers loses NBA, they still have AEW, and would they put all that money into AEW, or like pretty much like what would happen? But there's also someone brought up the fact like, well, if this whole NBA deal falls flat because of how bad they fumbled it, does David Zaslav keep his job from here on?
Probably not.
No, bro. I it'd be pretty good case to shop for a new head.
Well, because also like so this is a completely not animation related topic, but we're gonna play it for shits and giggles. We're jamming right now. But like Warner Bros is looking to sell their WB games and all that stuff off. So like Rocksteady, all that, they want to sell that off. They're closing down Cartoon Network.
I saw they
Probably.
closed down the website. I didn't know they were closing down the whole
Yeah.
channel.
They're gonna kibosh Cartoon Network because it's not worth it.
Yeah. That
Like
hurts.
animation studios in LA are not worth it.
Yeah.
So, from what I understand, is that animators or people that work in animation are going on strike to get more money. Well, the problem is that it's not worth it when this is gonna sound stupid, but it's like it's not worth me paying you to work so many hours when I can ship it to Korea or China or wherever and do the labor cheaper. I know that's not right, but that's how things work. Like as a business perspective, money perspective wise, it's like I'm not going to pay you. I'm going to serve amount of money when I could get it cheaper somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what they used to do in the '80s. They'd ship the
Yeah.
animation off to them, like Transformers was. Transformers, the original one was notorious for that. You get some real shitty animated episodes, and then you get like some pretty crisp looking ones because like when you have like 2 or 3 different studios working on the same show to get out
Right.
episodes.
And as far as I'm aware, that's how it's always worked.
Yeah.
Like unless you're like Disney or the fuck
Which even
Don
Disney.
Bluth or any other. Right. Well,
Yeah.
I mean Disney. Like when they made their cartoon movies, it was whatchamacallit. Uh, it was in house.
Yeah.
Disney made them here, but like if you watched Aladdin on fucking, as far as cartoons go on TV, as far as I'm aware, they've always been like shipped out somewhere else.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking like Hanna-Barbera, which used limited frames, so it was like, oh yeah, whatever.
So what
I
happens now? The Cartoon Network's gone, so it's just all gonna go on Max.
Yeah, that's the way it's looking. Is every like they've already canned Boomerang, so Boomerang used to be a channel,
Oh.
but everything that's on Boomerang can be viewed on Max.
Right, but
So it's like why are you double honeypotting or double dipping in things that are already available? And honestly, to get Boomerang, you have to buy a cable package. When if all you wanted was Boomerang cartoons, you can go, well, I'll just buy Max.
yeah. It
And
still
just do that.
stings. Still stings though, in the old nostalgia, you know.
Right. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but I'm just like,
I
as
get
far as
it, yeah.
I'm aware, it makes sense to me. It's like, okay.
It makes sense, but fuck, dude. It's like, damn. That's
And even Cartoon Network, to a certain extent, I'm like, I don't watch anything on it. I haven't watched anything on Cartoon Network in years.
Yeah.
So it's not.
really the only Cartoon Network thing
People-
I've been watching is Craig of the Creek. That's about it. But other than older shows that I've been like I grew up with, but
I think the last thing that I was actually like invested in was Young Justice before it got canceled, and that was in 2013.
damn. So you weren't
So-
even watching Adventure Time or anything like or a regular show?
No, it's not. Funny story. So, did I ever tell you that I went to the hospital a while back because I was so dehydrated?
Maybe, But go ahead.
This was like when my brother was living here, but it was like in February, March, or whatever. But that was the first time I had ever watched regular show. I was like, this is fucking weird.
I love that show. It's great. What's the point? It's supposed to be weird. It's supposed to be like, just like, escalation, and in the weirdest way.
Escalation of weirdness.
Yeah. I think the closest, like, I think closest to regular shows escalation is South Park. How they escalate shit.
I don't know. Smiling Friend seems to be.
Oh, dude,
Like
please tell me you're watching Smiling Friends, please.
No.
Come on.
But I was scrolling through Facebook and it was like frame 1,400 and something of Smiling Friends, and it's like, if you don't get away from me, I'm gonna beat you. And it's like some white dude on a roof. I'm like, oh,
watch it. You gotta watch it. They're like 15-minute episodes, so like you could like go through the whole show in like one sitting. It's Adult Swim humor, you know. I mean, so if that's your thing, you know. But
yeah,
that's definitely an episode we could do too, Smiling Friends. So, but circling back to old Batman here. So this was done by Bruce Timm, who did the animated series, and I can feel it. Like I with the animation and like the tone, I definitely feel that beat has.
Well, and it's Matt Reeves too, so it's the Batman. James Tucker, who did Batman Brave and the Bold, worked on Justice League, Superman. I'm not sure if he did BTAS or if I know he did New Adventures. It's written by Ed Brubaker. Well, the overarching plot, I guess, is written by Brubaker, and then you have different people writing different episodes. So, like, I don't know if you are into Kevin Smith or were into Kevin Smith, like his podcast stuff.
Comic Book Men, that's about it, and a little bit of Silent Bob.
Mark Bernardi, his friend and co-host for Fat Man on Batman, when they used to do that shit. They might still do it. I'm not sure. Wrote an episode. Greg Rucker wrote an episode, who's also another comic book person. A lady that helped write The Last of Us 2 wrote 2 episodes.
Oh.
So
they got some players on here.
Yeah, they have some writers, and some people I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Other ones I'm like, I don't know about that, Chief. And then when I reflect on what episodes I like and don't like, I'm like, that makes sense.
Who's writing them?
Yeah. So, any other ink? Do you want to go first? Because I have mileage on this, because I've been contemplating it for like over a week, going back and forth.
I love the show. I loved it. I had a blast watching the show. It was a lot of fun. Like last night I was watching. I think I watched most of it last night. I started it earlier this week, watched most of it last night, and finished it today. And like last night I was like, all right, I'm tired. I want to go to bed. And then like I'd finish the episode like one more. Finish the episode, one more. I think I finished on the Gentleman Ghost episode. Then I watched the rest of it today. But like, I love the tone, the different. It's like I love just like the tone, the vibe. I love Batman himself, like being the old school look, and like he's still like how long has he been Batman in this show? Like, did anyone
2
say?
weeks? A week?
So he's like
a week.
So he's brand new.
He's brand spanking.
Okay.
Although sometimes it doesn't feel like it.
No,
but,
yeah, that's why I was like, what, like a year or two? I was thinking like a year or two. But like
it's like week 2 of being Batman. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess that's where we're at.
The way he talks to Alfred, being a dick to him, is
so I was gonna say, to comment on that, I was like, I don't mind it. Like, people are like, oh no, Alfred's supposed to be a father figure. He's so disrespectful. I'm like, dude, in all reality, he is the hired help, regardless of whether he raised him or not. Like, it's not a justification to be a dick, but like, as far as that goes, it's like, you're the butler, dude. Go away. Like,
Well, I mean,
don't.
I see both sides of that, but like I also look to Arkham Origins when the entire game he's just a prick to Alfred, and then of course that near death experience where Alfred almost dies. That's what makes Batman realize, oh fuck, he remembers who Alfred
mean,
is and what he's done, and from then on he treats him with respect as he should.
kind of
You know.
kind of the same thing in the show too.
Yeah, it's
So.
the same thing in the show. So like, so that's why I didn't mind it because I knew okay, something's gonna happen where he's gonna be like, oh shit, I almost lost Alfred.
Well, I don't know. Even like I don't find the Pennyworth thing disrespectful necessarily because I've heard
Disrespectful. It's a fucking cartoon. God damn.
No. Like as a human, if I was just to call you Jones all the time,
Oh, okay, that's what you
that's
meant.
not disrespectful to me. Like
Well, no, he was being a
you
dick.
know who I live with.
He was being a dick. That's what it is. It doesn't matter what he was calling him. He was just the way he was talking to him. He was treating him like an ass.
Right.
Like an ass.
Well, I know people were on the internet were bitching. Oh, he calls him Pennyworth all the time. It's so uncaring and disrespectful. I was like, I don't know.
That's what made the last episode special, though, when he caught himself and said, "Alfred, thank you, Alfred." Yeah. People. But
like, what a weird thing to bitch about.
People find anything to bitch about. I love that they made Alfred fucking thick in this show.
I heard people bitch about that too. I was like, dude, I don't care. It's fucking Alfred.
Yeah, there's never been a bad Alfred. We've discovered this. There's like name any Batman. It could be the worst Batman ever, but Alfred is on point for some reason.
There's only one version of Alfred that I don't like. It's Dark Knight Rises, and that's it. Because he's crybaby bitch.
When he was whining.
Yeah,
but
yep.
Like
as far as characterization, it doesn't work. But like Michael Caine as Alfred is still peak Alfred.
It's crazy because like we were laughing about earlier about how like Warner Brothers just fumbles and fumbles and fumbles, but for some reason Alfred is untouchable. Like they just can't fuck up Alfred. I don't know. Maybe if I watched that one that wasn't there like a Alfred TV show for a minute?
Oh, Pennyworth? Yeah. No, I'm not. No.
Maybe if I watch that, we'll find the one Alfred, but I don't know.
I didn't even. I was like, Alfred before Batman? Oh, sorry. Gotham tried to get into that too. I was like, it might work. Nope. Don't work. I don't like it.
It's like all the Batman villains that should only exist if Batman exists, but they're somehow there, like Mr. Freeze.
Escalation, bro.
I was like, Batman can barely beat Mr. Freeze. How the fuck is a police force gonna beat Mr. Freeze?
Well, yeah, and it's like, yeah, some of those people were crazy before Batman, but even still, it's like fucking.
There's a way you
it's
get
escalation.
Done that, right? Yeah, and then get the worst Batman suit and the worst Joker look at the end.
Honestly, from like, if his hair wasn't looked like he was balding, it wouldn't be that bad. Like Joker, but that Batman suit doesn't look bad in concept art, but on the actor in the final scene, I'm like, yep, that's a trash bag. That's worse than Fan Four Stick Doctor Doom. What are you doing?
Fan Four Stick. Oh my god! But I try to think other thoughts on the show. Like it's of course there's a million different Batmans, so you got to change shit up a little bit, like characters, whether it be making Penguin a female or making Gordon and Barbara a black, or just changing it up because there's a million of these Batmans. How do you make them different? So like you change up a little bit of this. I can't think of the fucking word for it. It's pissing me off. But anyway, so variety. The variety of cast, people, colors, whatever the fuck. I'm still thinking I'm fucking up what I'm saying. Diversity. Thank you.
Yeah.
Change the diversity, I guess, to have your own little identity. I know some people are gonna, no matter what, even if it's like the littlest tweak, they're gonna, pandering. But I didn't feel any pandering in this.
We can touch on the Penguin thing. I didn't get at first when I saw it. I was like, "This is stupid," and then I watched the episode, and I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." Was it really needed though? Like you didn't change. Like
It's just
it
Penguin.
didn't.
That's
It
all.
didn't change anything.
Yeah.
Like
It's just
so.
Penguin. That's it. Only it's a woman.
Right. I'm like, okay, big deal. But like, so comparing this because this is a an alternate take from what they did on BTAS, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so this is like if you compare it to Marvel, the ultimate version of BTAS. Um, but like Telltale's a very different take on Batman's Rogues Gallery. Like we got Skinny Penguin in that one. That was weird. Like when you first played it, you were like, "What the fuck?" Um, but yeah, like I don't know. She wasn't. She didn't stand out to me, and honestly, I could take it or leave it. I don't think it was the strongest episode to open on, but that's just me. Um,
That was brutal. Her killing her kid. And then
yeah, in a trunk,
yeah, and
in
then
a trunk.
and then afterward when she finds out she killed the wrong kid that ratted
Like,
her
oh,
out, and then it's like she's like, "Do you know what this means? You killed the wrong son." No, the other one's gonna
oh.
squeal. So that fuck's like, "Fuck, that's hardcore."
Right?
And then like later in the episode when like Batman's underwater, you just see the trunk and he's somehow a skeleton already underwater. But
I don't know if that is him or if it's just
another one. It looks like the same
right
trunk and body.
because but if you look at like slow down the foot, like I didn't actually do this. I watched other
Supporter films.
reviewers argue my points against myself.
Hmm.
But yeah, if you slow it down, there's multiple trunks, so it's not like it's the first time she's done this
Oh,
to a human being.
that makes sense.
I like the iceberg lounge being on a ship.
Yeah.
Like it's like gambling's illegal in Gotham, but since she's in international waters, kind of like I think Ho Chunks on like the lake or
Yeah,
whatever.
like a riverboat and shit.
Yeah. I thought it was cool that she had a giant gun in the umbrella.
Hmm. I like that the outfits.
And a hat.
I like that the outfits aren't like armored, way advanced tech suits. Everybody's rocking, like old school tights and shit. I don't know if
Someone's
like
been
as
watching My Adventures with Superman.
I don't
That's
know.
the one complaint I hear about that show is like all the villains look like fucking tech suit bros.
Yeah, like Deathstroke.
gals.
I didn't even realize I was looking at Deathstroke till someone said his name. I was like, what?
Who?
Which I guess would make sense if being Deathstroke, but like he wasn't even wearing the mask or anything. He was just Slade Wilson, or whatever.
And I don't think he had an eye patch either.
No, I don't know if later in the show he loses his eye or anything like that. I didn't get too far. I like it. I just didn't get too far just yet.
I watched the pilot. I was like, all right, I don't know. Maybe if it picks up or some shit.
Sure, yeah.
But I didn't give it a whole hell of a chance.
I like short-haired Lois. I don't know. She's a vibe. I think she's iconic. I don't know. There's something about short-haired Lois. But anyway, so for me to sum up my thoughts on the show, I liked it. I think everybody should check it out. It's on Amazon, so if you have Prime, your little if you got a Prime addiction, you have this show, so you could watch it for free with Prime.
Also, fun fact: if you pay $2.99 more, you don't have to have ads. So the first time I watched this, it had ads,
Yeah.
so it would like cut at weird parts, which I hated about Hulu, and Hulu still does that shit. But anyway, you can get it ad free, or have one ad at the beginning, I think, and that's it.
Hmm.
But throughout the episode, it doesn't do anything. So me being me, I was like, nope, not doing ads. I hate ads.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah,
so
I like
Amazon Prime.
I like it overall. I like that Bruce Wayne gets as much attention as Batman too. So like we get to see some Bruce mingling with the people. And I like the villains they picked for the show for the season. I'm sure we'll talk more about like we'll break down each villain as we get closer, as we talk about them. But like overall thoughts,
Yeah.
I love the show. I can't wait for season 2. Definitely check it out.
Depending on okay, so my take is I like it. I'm not in love with it. My rating, if I were to give it a star rating out of 10, depending on the day, it's either a 6 or a 7, depending. Just depends on where I'm at. Um, Things that I don't, I don't know, like the voice acting to me, because I know they recorded it in COVID, so everyone was at their
Oh,
house. Sometimes the voice acting sounds flat, and I'm just like, ugh. But that's a me thing. That might just be me watching too many cartoons, um, or being so used to certain ways, like Batman, BTAS, and Superman, and all that stuff was recorded where it was on ensemble, and they all were in the recording booth together, so they could kind of bounce off one another.
sure.
Which during COVID, okay,
I
fine,
can't. Yeah.
yeah,
I suppose I'll
it's not
probably improve
it's not
them.
allowed.
I'll probably improve
Right,
them by season 2. Oh, something,
right.
something that you said some wonkiness. There's a few punches in this show that looked weird, like
Yeah.
Basil Carlo, or yeah, punching out the doctor, or the doctor punching Basil, whichever it was. It just looked off for some reason. And then there was a right hand that Barbara gave to one of the crooked cops, and it was like his
Hmm.
head is like facing the camera. So like
Hmm.
it would make more sense if she used her left, but she used her right, and it's like she somehow swung around, but it looked weird. I don't know. But other than that,
Yeah.
like I said, the animation really reminds me of like if like BTS came out today with that
Yeah.
style. But
Um, which so I watched, well, 5 to I'm on 9 right now. I just had it on. I took a nap, but anyway, I've watched it twice. So there's more there's more curves in this show. It's gonna sound weird, but I'm an animation nerd, so bear with me. So if you go back to Justice League or Superman or the New Adventures or any of that stuff, there's a certain way Bruce Timm and company drew arms and legs.
yeah,
It's usually a curve, like on top, it's curves and then a flat. Curve and then a flat. Like if you look at your forearm, you can see the bottom's kind of flat, and then
mm,
there's a curve where your muscle is. So that's what they would do. This one has more of the B-test flavoring where it's got more like realistic um not proportions but body looking stuff. I mean, obviously everyone's in a suit coat, so they're all kind of squares.
yeah.
But like if you look at Batman, Batman's got actual like muscle definition, and it's not just a straight line or whatever. So, um, but yeah, I dig the suit. I dig the time period. I feel like Gotham's a little too clean, but that's just me. Um, I dig most of the villains. Harley Quinn's not one of them.
I
What
thought,
else?
thought that episode was fucked. So I was just going, this is
uh,
fucked up.
I don't like so it's just the fact like I don't get why she's a clown. I don't know.
Harley Quinn.
It might be right. I know, but the thing is it's like okay, Harley Quinn is Harley Quinzel, ha ha ha, but Joker makes the thing, and that's not in this universe. I know that, but I'm just like, but if she's not connected to Joker in any stream of consciousness or any way, why would she pick the clown outfit? Like I don't know.
I
I don't
think
understand.
maybe she made the lineage or the connection to Harley Quinn, Harley Quinzel, and
Maybe,
went with the Jester.
maybe,
That's the only thing I
possibly.
think. It's a loose kind of. It's one of those like why does Harley Quinn exist without Joker? Why does Venom exist
Right.
without Spider Man? You know,
He shouldn't.
plenty, plenty of examples of all of that. But it was for me it was like when she was like torturing fucking people, like was it dressing them up in
Well,
like the big baby. It was it's like this
well,
is fucking weird, man.
that's that's the other thing that I don't know about that episode that I don't like. So I don't know if you've ever watched the show Dexter.
No, but I heard it's great.
Um, for 4 seasons, and that's it. Never stop. Um, we could do a Mark Media on that because that show's fucking delicious. Anyway, there's a plot in season 1 where it's a psychiatrist, right? But
Yeah.
he talks to people and then convinces them to commit suicide.
Oh.
So whether it's like some rich woman technically like slits her femoral artery and just bleeds out in her tub. There's another one where she like, or some dude shoots himself. So like, I thought that's where they were going with it, not with a giant butch man baby things. Like, I don't know, the whole, I guess the court was weird, you know, like court gesture or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was weird. Then I also noticed there's a lot of Batman 66 references in this show.
Bless you.
So like the city board that they're always looking at, Batman and Alfred, it's literally pulled from the 66 show. King Tut, who I think is in the Harley Quinn
Yes,
episode at
yes.
the beginning, is from 66 also.
I caught that one. I was like, "Fuck yeah, that's hilarious."
Yeah.
I kind of went. I think at that point, now that you mention that, I wish it was more like those cheesy '60s kind of people, like all locked up instead of like dressed up all weird. It freaked me out. It was kind of creepy. I was like, oh.
Like, I'm all for different takes on Harley. Like, don't get me wrong. One of my favorite ones that's not traditional Harley is Telltale.
Yeah.
Because Telltale kind of takes the thing of, if she is a good psychologist, she can fuck with you like the entire time. And I guess it doesn't make any sense for her to have the jester outfit in that.
Well, she does the
game
same
either,
thing in the
but-
show.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I don't know. I guess I just didn't dig it, but that's just me.
Mm.
I'm not saying it was a bad episode. I was just like, eh. It's
Right.
very Hugo Strange. It also reminded me of Professor Pig with the Daltrons. Granted, she doesn't like mutilate them in any way, but I'm just like, oh, so she just tortures them into submission, and then they're kind of quote unquote brainwashed. So I don't know. It's kind of like, it's all right.
I like that they introduced her by like they introduced her not in that episode, but like the episode or two prior as like Bruce Wayne's court-ordered psychiatrist, and like kind of setting the seeds of like, oh, there's something a little off here.
Yeah. Well, also it's funny because like so we'll go back 2 episodes to Catwoman, which is why he got a ordered psychologist or whatever. Some dude makes not even a joke about his mom, but just kind of a common sense thing.
Yeah.
You're on the East End, like, what the hell are you doing with these pearls? And then Bruce just, like, he doesn't even get mad. He just punches the dude in the face.
I can't. I won't lie. I can't blame him. I was talking about his mom. I mean, regardless of even if he wasn't joking, he didn't mean to come off that way. I can see why he would say, "Fuck you," boom.
I adore the Catwoman costume.
Oh yeah, I love it. And I love that she's broke and she's like holding this maid hostage, pretty much. This poor maid's like owed 3 years of pay, but she's for some reason.
I would imagine some of it's like from her dad though too, but I love the Catmobile. Like, don't at me. I don't care. I know it's stupid, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Like, her just showing up with a car, I'm like, yes.
She sees Batman have one, and then she goes like, "Oh, I want one." I dug the hell out of Catwoman in this for sure.
I like the thing where she steals the necklace out of that couple's house, and you see her, and then it's like the frame that they show to reveal Catwoman. But she looks down. She also steals their cat too. And then Batman chases her or whatever. But yeah, I also
cats.
Right, and it's got things of the Batman in it where Catwoman's got a lot of stray cats or stolen cats or whatever. I also like the thing where she's like super into Batman, but Batman's like, dude, I don't give a shit. I'm not even thinking about sex at all. I have a mission. That is it. Crying. Fuck you. That's all I'm doing.
I'm thinking about sex. I'm thinking about pancakes.
Thinking
Now,
about hammers of justice. That's what I'm thinking about.
what'd you think of the police? The pretty much like the non like superhero
Um,
villain characters like Harvey Dent before he's Two-Face, Barbara Gordon, the crooked cops.
they're fine,
Yeah.
but like I don't know. Uh, it's fine because I've heard people complain that this is a Barbara Gordon and the Renee Montoya show, and I'm like, not well, kind of, but not really,
Yeah.
because like I said, Ed Brubaker and Greg Rucka both wrote a comic book called Gotham Central, which is the GCPD focusing on crime when Batman's not around. So of course they're gonna change it. And also Bruce Timm and company have been doing this shindig for what, 30 years?
Yeah. I'm so
Counted
glad
counting
Montoya. I'm so glad they brought
animated.
Montoya back. That's
I kind of hope she becomes a question. Like, I know Vic Sage isn't in here, but I'm like, she could be the question next season. That'd
yeah.
be cool. Like, I know it's not a Breaking the Bold show, and they're like, oh, we want to avoid, other superheroes, and Batman's the only hero, this and the other thing. But, like, Eel O'Brien's in the show. He's a photographer that Batman intimidates into taking pictures of Catwoman,
Yeah.
stealing. He becomes Plastic Man in the comics. I'm like, that'd be cool. Where's an Alan Scott Green Lantern? Or Alan Scott, that'd be cool. Also, one of the reporters in the show is Lois Lane from the Superman Fletcher cartoons, which is cool too. The Clayface episode was really good. I'm just gonna go through whatever. I just kind of have them on my screen.
Yeah.
But I dig the Clayface thing. It's not a drastic departure from B-Task because they basically took the origin that they put in here, but they added the monster
Yeah.
horror movie monster thing to Clayface and B-Task. Also, there's the. Oh, go ahead.
I like that. I remember I was telling you, I was like, it hooked me because I was like, well, the mystery of who Clayface was, like, but it turned out to be Basil, which I was like, oh well, maybe I just had to know his identity in advance, so of course it's Basil. But I was hoping it was like maybe like the woman in the beginning who gets kidnapped or the doctor or something. But I mean, it's not. There's nothing wrong with it being Basil. It's just I was kind of like I was convinced it wasn't going to be Basil, and then of course sure enough it's Basil.
I was like, oh, it's Jack Ellman. I was like, that'd be kind of cool. Like, he kills Basil in, like, a freak thing because he injects too much or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he just uses it to cover his face and be Basil. I mean, that's technically what Basil does to everyone else. But, yeah, I don't know. What's the other? The Firebug? Firebug episode's actually pretty fucking dark.
Yeah, that one was pretty dark too, especially the scene where he's like seeing like the fire going through the alley with the
and
fire
all
children.
The people and the flames. Yeah, that was cool.
That was
but I just
crazy.
meant like when Flash and Bullock just blow him away out the window. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, just murk him. Bullock, it's interesting to see. I'm sure like this isn't new for Bullock. Like has he always been a crooked cop in past things?
No,
really.
So the thing in B-Test, he's a cop that bends the rules.
Yeah, but he's still a cop.
Right, he's still a good guy, and he doesn't have good bodily hygiene. So if you watch, I don't remember, A Bullet for Bullock, his apartment's disgusting.
Great episode.
And then his landlord is just like, oh my god, you're so disgusting, and then tries to kick him out. To the point, he's so disgusting that he wants to get him assassinated.
Awesome episode.
Like, his OCD just took over, and he's like, I can't deal with this shit anymore.
He must die. He must die. But yeah, I think in Gotham there was an episode where he was crooked or something. Or
I think he is in that show.
Yeah. But it's interesting to see him crooked in this, but like you said, I'm used to the B-Task one where he's just like, yeah, he bends the rules. He's in it. He can be in it for himself sometimes, but he's still at the end of the day he wants to do right.
He's a good cop. Yeah.
Well, I don't know about
He's
that.
good police, as a liar would say. So, um, they also had Flass in this, and Bullock,
Yeah, who's
which I was like,
Flash?
Flass is in year one, or
Oh,
even if Batman Begins. So Flass is Gordon. So when Gordon moves to Gotham from Chicago, Flass is his trainer, I guess, like
yeah.
his partner for the time being, and Flass is just a piece of shit. So in year one, he's this big ass green beret, like white dude that just beats the shit out of people. Like he beat some dude up because he pulled out a comb that kind of looked like a switchblade, and
Oh,
then also he was under the mayor's like on the take. So at one point in the comic, he beat or Flash telling a story, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was going to bust these drug runners, blah 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 blah." But what you see in the panels is actually Batman beat the shit out of him because he was taking his cut from the drugs in the thing, and he comes in with a neck brace and all that jazz. So he's white in the comic book. They changed him for this show,
yeah.
so that maybe that's why you didn't recognize him. I don't know. And he doesn't have blonde hair, but Barbara has red hair. So I don't know if you he's in Batman Begins too. He's the guy that pulls the drugs out of the teddy bears,
Oh, okay. I vaguely remember. I have to watch it again.
and where Batman pulls him up by his legs, and he says, "Spider-Man."
Oh, okay, okay. Now I know what you're talking about.
That's that guy.
That
Yeah.
guy. That guy. But
Go ahead.
Gentleman Ghost, I think, is my favorite episode.
Yeah, I
Uh,
like that one a lot.
and I loved like he was so I was wondering which way they were gonna go with it because like Batman was convinced like there's no such thing as ghosts. He's not a ghost. But then
Oh,
I didn't know if there was gonna be a way to like they were gonna like turn it where like oh he's using this some kind of bullshit machine to explain why he can go through walls and shit. Like no, he's a ghost. Straight up
oh.
a ghost.
Well, I thought you were going to be like, because at first I was like, oh, it's going to be a Scooby Doo thing, like.
That's what I figured. It was gonna be like Scooby Doo.
Oh, here, it's a
But
white, it's an evil business tycoon. Pull off
right,
his back. But no, he's a straight up fucking ghost.
right,
The opposite of Robin Hood. He steals from the poor to give it to himself.
yeah. 'Cause-
Um, yeah, I don't know. I like the thing where Batman tried to punch him and then his hand froze. And then
yeah.
Batman was a real dick when he got back because he's like, Pennyworth, it has to be 108 degrees. No more, no less. Otherwise, my hand is fucked.
I
And Alfred's like, dude, I know. Shut the fuck
was
up.
like, I know what I've been doing. I've been doing this for a while here, bud. I
I
love.
wiped your bottom. I bloody well ought to.
I love. So who was the voodoo guy he went to go see?
That is a frenemy, I think. I don't know. I didn't know who it was when I first saw him, but I kind of hope other stuff comes up for season 2. For me, the supernatural stuff in this show really works. Like, I don't know. I'm just like, ooh, ghosts. And we'll get to Nocturna, but that was a cool episode too. Um, but he's a frenemy of John Constantine, I guess.
Hmm.
I don't know a whole lot, and I kind of hope Zatanna comes back in the show too. That'd be cool. Or even Constantine. I don't know. I know they said they didn't want to do a whole bunch of crossovers, but I'm like, guys, you have so much stuff that you could do just for fun. That's not because it's a one and done. The show's one and done for most of the episodes.
Oh, like episode.
Like there's a loose, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I forget his name. It's like Papa Voodoo or I don't know. And I want to know what he does with Gentleman Ghost. That'd be cool too.
Sticks in his ass.
Like, or that episode. What the fuck episode? Is it an episode of Justice League or Courage? I don't remember. But there's one where they have I think Etrigan keeps what's his face? Clarion the Witch Boy in a glass glass container on his shelf.
Yeah.
And then I think the lady with the fucking plunger hands gets kept on a shelf too. So I don't know. I don't know what it is with me and remembering weird fucked up shit that's just like, oh yeah, tiny human beings in little glass jars that have no air holes. they'll die.
But you're like, I don't know if it was Justice League or Courage. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
is there an episode of Courage Cowardly Dog that has people on shelves or?
Yeah, it's like Dr. Gerbil's world or something. I don't know. I remember an old lady with plunger hands and feet, and she's like, it's mine. And then there's a fucking bowl of like lint or some shit. I don't know. Courage is a weird show.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch it now. There's some fucked up episodes. I remember somebody like shared a bunch of screen grabs or something of Courage, and I just commented, "Goes, how the fuck were we allowed to watch this as kids?" And I never got a bunch of laugh reacts. It's like, this is wild, man.
Johnny Bravo is literally about like a womanizer.
Yeah.
Like, how does that get made for children?
Well, I
Yeah.
love how like I remember thinking like, oh, that show probably doesn't age well. Then I watch it, I was like, no, it actually ages perfectly because he just gets his shit kicked in.
Fucking hilarious.
It's like women's always beating his ass, like literally, like legit throwing his ass around. Because they're like, fuck off. Oh
Fantastic. I don't care in any context. It's just funny because he's basically an Elvis impersonator, and it's fucking hilarious.
My God.
Well, since we're kind of already going in order, next episode is like Gordon. There's a hit put out on Gordon. Now I don't remember if they say Commissioner Gordon or Jim Gordon, James Gordon, whatever. I wonder if they just say Gordon. So episode 7 is when I took a nap, which is also kind of my least. Like, it's not one that I'm really like, oh yeah, that. So 3 episodes that I'm not in love with are 1, 5, and 7. So, but anyway, it's an assassination attempt on a Gordon.
Yeah.
Twist is it's Barbara, not Jim. That episode was cool because Batman beats up the police and then goes into the cell and beats up that dude. But yeah, it's a hit on Gordon, and it's Onomatopoeia, who kind of does fuck all in this episode.
Yeah, okay. I was about to ask that question.
He doesn't
Who was
do
that
anything.
guy?
He's a Green Arrow villain invented by Kevin Smith, and so in the comic book, when he like fights people or whatever, he does onomatopoeia. So that's like the pow, the whap,
Oh, I was like, he's doing that.
the
Okay. I
bam,
was
the
wondering what he was
drip,
doing.
drip. Yeah,
That
but
was
usually.
funny.
I don't know. I was like, yeah, I'm not in love with this. I did like that it was like Floyd Lawton tries to kill Gordon at first, who's dead shot.
Yeah, that's right.
Obviously. Yeah, that was fun. And then I also like where all the hitmen come out of the train. I know it's stupid, but they're all lined up, and I don't know. I thought it was funny. I'm just like, just a train full of hitmen. Whatever, that's fine.
Pulling up to finish the job.
And then Jim Corrigan, who's the guy that you said got punched weird,
Yeah.
who tries to kill Barbara, plot twist. So apparently he's not. Jim Corrigan is the Spectre, is what I thought. It might be a different person, but he might become the Spectre. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, they're like, I don't want to do superhero crossovers, this, that, and the other thing, but they'll put a shit ton of references to all these things. And that's another thing we'll touch on in the next episode.
Right.
Because I'm like, I kind of hope he doesn't have sidekicks, but anyway. Yeah, episode 7 is just kind of I mean, you get to know Jim and Barbara a little better, which, if I'm being honest, Gordon's kind of boring in the show.
Yeah, he's just kind of there.
He's kind of there and a stick in the mud.
Oh yeah, that's gets into a Barbara over, over her getting people off or something.
Yeah.
As in like off of like facing punishment.
Barbara's a lawyer.
She's a lawyer.
Barbara's a lawyer,
Yeah.
not a slut. It's okay.
I do love her feud with Harvey Dent, and like how they like just stick it to each other all the time.
It reminded me of Rachel
Yeah.
in the Nolan thing, because Rachel and Dent. Although I don't think, or was
That-
it Scarecrow? I don't know. You know, in Begins, it's one dude, lawyer person, and then in Dark Knight, it's Harvey Dent.
mm.
So yeah, that's a change to Barbara, and she's always wearing a purple outfit with like gold accents, which is obviously a nod to like Batgirl from the '66 show.
Well, now I gotta look at that. I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
Of course,
yeah,
Harvey's running for mayor as well, so he's the
yeah,
DA trying to get the mayor job.
which would be fun. Um,
Oh well.
what else? There's not a whole lot about this episode that I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. No,
Episodes.
it's kind of boring. Kind of boring. Um, yeah, and then they Wayne Gardens is like a house for poor people or low income families, I guess.
Yeah.
So they have a shootout there, and Batman saves the day. Technically, Barbara saves the day, but Batman beats up everyone else basically besides Jim Corrigan. Then it gets jazzy at the end, which is nice for the score. Score's kind of there and not there.
Yeah, I don't remember the music being too memorable in the show. That's one
Yeah,
downside.
it's not bombastic either.
Yeah.
Like like I don't know, Shirley Walker did something where it was still emotional and serious, but also bombastic.
Mm.
But like I don't hate it. It's just kind of there though.
The intro is the
The
only
theme,
really thing I can remember, music-wise.
Catwoman's theme sounds like a mix of Batman Returns and The Batman.
Mm.
But I've also heard or was told by YouTube videos that technically Catwoman's theme is the exact same theme from The Batman.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Next episode is Nocturna or Natalia Knight, whoever the fuck you want to call her. But she's an energy vampire. Done much cooler than other energy vampires.
It was kind of freaky.
I like it. It's like a weird fucking. It's almost like a horror movie.
Yeah. Sucking the
It's an
souls
old
out of
horror
soul.
movie, right? And then, as I alluded to before, almost every Robin that has ever been is here except Damian.
That's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Especially the one with the slingshot. I was like, wait, isn't that what's
Yep.
her name? I was like, yes, it was.
Carrie, yeah, it's Carrie Kelly, and then Jason Todd has his red hair and freckles like he did before Crisis.
Dickie.
Dick Grayson is literally just the animated series model.
Yeah. I caught on to that real fast. Like, wait a minute, these people look familiar. Then as soon as you said Dickie and Jason, I was like, I see.
And then Stephanie Brown, who's never been Robin in a cartoon show before.
Was Tim there?
Also, no, they skipped him
Okay.
because DC and company don't like Tim Drake for whatever fucking reason.
Why?
I don't know.
What's wrong with Red Robin? Yum.
I mean, Dan DiDio didn't like Dick Grayson either. He's like, kill him. Fuck Nightwing. He makes Batman old.
Because
and also,
is.
people make dick jokes.
Oh man. People didn't like Jason
How
either.
dare
They had
you.
a whole fucking vote to kill the guy.
Oh,
Let me get the
so that was a robocall.
Yeah, it was a whole. Yeah, I remember reading that. But you got the
So-
Ayatollah of Iran Joker.
Yeah, and then he gets diplomatic immunity.
How is that
And
the
Batman
same?
punch-
How is that the same comic? I
I
think
don't know.
I think every other podcast and stream we've somehow referenced Joker being the Iranian Ayatollah. It's just so ridiculous.
Well-
I need to see it in animated form.
And the other thing that cracks me up about that book, I used to have a graphic novel of it, and I gave it to my buddy. But the other thing is, so Joker murders Robin, right, and leaves him in a shack, and then he pulls him up, and whatever. So Batman goes back, and then he finds out Joker's Ayatollah, and then Joker's gonna kill the UN, and this is a completely different tangent. But anyway, Joker's gonna kill the UN, and ha 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 ha, fuck you, Batman. But Superman's like, Bruce, you gotta, like, you can't kill him. You can't do this. I know you're mad and he murdered your partner or whatever, but you can't do that. So Batman just turns around and clocks Superman in the face. Now, nowadays, it would be like, oh, Clark's affected. Nah, Batman just straight up breaks his hand. Just, oh,
Snap.
snap.
Just
Just
crunch.
bam.
So
Um,
what's the I'm blanking on her name, the energy
Nocturnal?
vampire. Yeah, what's she from?
She is from the 70s comic books. As far as I know, she's again or she has a skin condition, and then she's like a vampire thing, and she flirts with Batman because Batman's into goth chicks. Obviously, another fun thing about this episode is they're all at a carnival. Leslie Tompkins shows up, as we mentioned, the Robins. Um, Killer Croc is also in this episode.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's a cameo, but
Yeah.
it's cool.
That was cool.
He's a circus show performer. I was kind of hoping they take the Earth One approach, where Croc is one of the Bat family.
What?
Yeah. So I'll have to lend you the Earth One graphic novels, but in Earth One, instead of Killer Croc being a villain, Batman fights him in the sewers, and then they become friends, and it's great.
What the fuck? That's awesome.
Yeah, because honestly, Croc's just some dude with a fucking skin condition.
Right. I'm so used to the Arkham interpretation of Croc, where he's like full on crocodile man who eats people.
Dude, and especially in Arkham Knight.
Oh,
Just tortured. Like, they cut off his arms like he's an actual fucking lizard so he can regenerate, and then it just fucks everything up.
he just destroys people.
Dude, he should have murdered that guy.
He should have.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that's a whole different show. Zach doesn't like Arkham Knight. Although, after watching the show the second time, Zach's been playing Arkham Knight. I texted Greg about it. I was like, so the first appearance suit in this game makes it look really ridiculous because this man is wearing a wool sweater and it's just clicking on his wrist and magically things happen or a screen pops up. But yeah, I like this episode. So the premise is Nocturnal lures all these children into like a trailer and then sucks out their energy, and then her brother's like, dude, you can't be doing that.
Right.
They're gonna find out. And then what, Dick and Jason go missing, and then everyone starts looking for him, and then Stephanie goes missing, and then everyone goes. So there's like 3 people laying there looking all sick and shit. And her brother's like, bro, they're not gonna leave until we find these kids. And Nocturne's like, I'm gonna fuck.
And then kills him. Just straight up murders him.
Pushes him into the bookshelf, and the bookshelf falls, or I think it's a bookshelf.
Yeah, it was a bookshelf, or a shelf of some kind. It knocked over and he crushed him.
Yeah, and then Batman's like, you killed him. And then she's like, no, I can't. And then she's like, I'm gonna die in sunlight. Batman's like, nah, we ain't. But yeah, I don't know. I dig this episode. It's not really anything deeper or heavy or anything, but I'm like, oh, that's cool.
I love it. By this point, Harvey Dent was so behind in the polls that he finally started taking money from Rupert Thorne, and was just escalating that some more. This was, and I want to say, like, hooking up the kids to a carnival was one of the ways to get them more popular.
He was trying to do it legit.
Yeah.
And then Thorne's like, bro, you are so behind right now. You're not gonna win. So I need you to drop. Right. I need you to drop the thing. Drop the case against, Morocco or whoever the fuck. Whatever his name was. He's not important. Yeah.
Then of course he doesn't.
Nope. He's like, fuck that guy. And then guess what? He gets assaulted in the bathroom with some acid in his face. Oh no, not again.
Not again.
I don't know if I don't get this version of Two-Face. Like, so Harvey Dent's a scumbag, right? When he's just normal Harvey Dent. but then when he gets scarred, it's like, oh, I'm gonna be nice to people because I'm an asshole, but also I have no filter.
I think he's emotionally traumatized, and it just changed him. Cause like something
Because there's
traumatic
points
is
where,
getting your face melted, you know.
right? Because I'm like, okay, because when he's like talking to Barbara or Bruce, because Bruce is like, hey, we should go to dinner just to get you out of your apartment because you've been cooped up for, I don't know, 2 weeks, a month, or some shit. I
Yeah.
don't remember what they said. Um, but then he's like, oh, you want to see the freak? Like, he thinks people are talking about him. So I don't know if it's like schizophrenia or like social anxiety.
So I
'Cause
probably wanted to. I think he's just like thinking
or
everybody.
maybe bipolar. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I just feel like
I
it,
just
it all
find it.
just went downhill for him because like he just got like
I'm ugly. You gave me the
you
ugly.
gave me the ugly. Yeah, he's just traumatized from that, thinking everybody's making fun of him.
Yeah. I mean, I relate because I'm shallow like that sometimes. I'm like, man, if my face got fucked up, I'd be. Oh,
Well, yeah, I think
anyway.
anybody would. I think it's over. Life's over. I can't. I have to live like this, you know.
So, do you want to be traumatized, Greg?
Sure.
Because I have a story from a place I worked at for a week and then got laid off or had issues, so they relieved me of my duty. So some girl was like sanding metal, right? And
Oh
one of the
God.
sheets like flew up into her face. Well, it
Oh.
flew like right in between her fucking her nose and eyeballs.
Ooh.
So they like had to I don't remember the other part of it, but there was something else wrong. But they had to cut her face and peel her face back to rebuild her face.
Jesus. So she had
So
a
then
whole
it's like
full-on
she
reconstruction.
right. So I think the sheet of metal went from like top of her forehead to like her jaw or whatever. But then they had to cut it down, so she had like a giant X on her face. Real true story. And then unfortunately she couldn't live with it. So
Oh,
yeah, I would imagine getting, especially a girl. She was like 20 years old, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's like wow.
that's
Um,
sad.
so yeah, and true shit too. But anyway, I don't know. I would picture that's probably what Harvey's feeling at the moment, or
Right,
when
right.
he gets his face full of acid. Also, it's not as I don't know if you've seen the Long Halloween movie.
Yes, I love that movie.
I don't think the Scream is as good as that one. Also, Two-Face is played by a former Batman, which is fun because
Yeah,
it's the Crusader.
I couldn't. I kept blanking on his name. Yeah, I thought he did great as Two Face. It was awesome.
I mean, he was good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. B-Cast Two-Face. I'm just like, yep, the Richard Mall,
Yes.
I think this was his name, just guilty
Yeah,
or whatever.
the way he was able to bounce between the voices, I loved it too.
Yeah, he
The
did. That was fun too because he'd like talk, and then when he get pissed off, it'd be Two-Face voice. Um, I don't know. I also would have kind of thought it'd be cool if they did the Telltale thing where you had the mask. Since it is in the 40s, they'd put like a mask over your face if you were like disfigured or some shit.
sure.
Kind of like Doctor Poison and Wonder Woman, where the bottom of her face is all covered up. I don't know if you've seen the Wonder Woman movie,
I'm
but
not. Nope.
uh, oh, that's a good one. I like it. You might think it's mid. My dad didn't appreciate it, but I was like, it's as good as a Marvel movie. Anyway, um, but yeah, Killer Inside Me is just basically Harvey dealing with being Two-Face
Yeah.
and then hunting down the Rupert Thorne. So it follows a similar plot structure to the third act of The Dark Knight, where Two-Face is just kind of hunting down everyone that um,
Fucked
wronged
him
him,
over.
basically.
I wish.
Yeah,
I don't know. The design I thought was bleh for Two Face. What the disfigured. Maybe I'm just used to like him having one side discolored,
I
and
think it should be more pink.
yeah, it's
Like, I
it's,
don't know if
it's like
you've seen the Mezco one.
he's missing like chunks, but like that's about it.
Yeah, it's melted, but yeah, it's just
Schmelted.
black. schmelted. But yeah, I don't know. It probably should have been a little bit darker pink, so that way it was like it's not magical acid.
Yeah.
And this show's rated TV 14. Where was I going? I don't know if I like the Rupert Thorne angle because they kind of already did that.
Yeah, with the original beat. Instead of going with like Falcone or anything, they just went right back
Or
to
Marone.
Thorne or Marone.
Maroney, yeah. Instead of it being Maroney like in the Long Halloween, because it'd be different. I know Falcone and Maroney have been used a lot, but it's like I don't know, be different. They did do the acid in the face, but he hunts down all the guys. And the other thing that I kind of miss from the Long Halloween is his assistant is the one that rats Dent out in the first place. At least in the comic book.
Right.
He rats Dent out to Maroney, and then Maroney, during the court case, obviously, like Tommy Lee Jones, just throws acid in his face. So, I guess, I don't know. It's a good episode. I like the one part where Rupert Thorne's like, "Oh yeah, that's Buddy. He's driving. Nah, he ain't awake." And then it like crashes into the door or whatever.
Yeah, it crashes in. It
Oh,
goes,
that was
he's not slowing down, and Two-Face just picks them all off one by one with a gun.
Yeah.
Until Batman saves them.
Or even when he's beating up that thug. I thought that was a cool scene too, where that mugger's beating up the dude.
Oh
the
yeah.
guy.
And then
And then Harvey's like, "Should we?" And then blam.
And then you have no idea if he did it, and then it cuts to him, and he shot him in the leg, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, and then he sets that dude on fire. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The dude that scarred him got burned. And I love Batman just looks up, sees the fire, and then he sees Two-Face. So I think Batman just saw he's it's already done. I just gotta go right after the guy.
God damn it. Well, there's a lot of that in the show.
Yeah.
So this Batman's like 80s Batman, where Batman doesn't necessarily kill anyone, but he's like, "Oh, your homeboy," like the first episode, some gangster shoots another gangster because Batman moved out of the way. Batman's like, "Yeah, I don't give a fuck."
So what could he do at that point? I mean, I get it.
He's like, "Yeah, because Batman doesn't kill." Yeah, but that doesn't mean Batman doesn't put you in predicaments where you could possibly die.
That's why I always love that line in Batman Begins when he's like, "You're not gonna kill me." No, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna save you. And I don't have to save you either. And he just leaves, and Liam Neeson's like, "Oh fuck."
That was the fun way around it.
Yeah.
I don't know. As long as Batman's not pulling the trigger or like purposely killing people, like BVS, I'm fine with it. Like, Batman can't save everyone. I mean, Daredevil doesn't even save everyone.
I remember my mom. I remember me and my mom were watching Batman vs Superman, and I'm just like, I hate that he kills people. She's like, he's not killed people. I was like, Mom, he's flying in a plane shooting people. Like shooting like cars that are exploding. It goes. She's like trying to figure out workarounds. Like, well, maybe he's just trying to stop the truck. It's like he still fucking killed them. Like he's still doing it. And she's like, because like she's with the no kill rule, but she's trying to figure out workarounds. I'm like, no, Mom, he's killing them. He's not. He's straight up doing it.
So, being a super nerd, and I'll touch on BVS, but like the justification for that is in Dark Knight Returns. When the kidnapping scene, and even in the comic, I'm like, he shot homeboy, homegirl, they, them in the shoulder. He didn't actually kill them.
Right. Or
at least that's what I thought.
I think
Batman's not gonna kill anyone.
I think he incapacitated them with the gun. He shot them somewhere, but the way they drop though, like you don't know. So like it's left to interpretation, which who would have thought that little act or that little like, oh, I'll leave it up to them, or like who would have thought that would have affected Batman with BVS?
I mean, in that book too, there's lots of points where Batman, kind of like this Batman, doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He's just like, yup, well, you died. Sorry, not my fault.
Shit happens, I guess.
Like when he's interrogating that Two-Face guard and he falls through the glass and then he cut his wrist on a piece of glass and Batman's like, look, you're gonna tell me what I want to know, otherwise you're just gonna bleed out. And I'm the only person in this area that can get you to a hospital in time. So I don't know. Then Two-Face turns himself in after he tries to kill Thorn. Right? I think. Or Batman knocks him out and then they get him.
No, I think he. I don't remember, but yeah, he pretty much they apprehend him, yes, and then they're like, we're gonna get, we're gonna get you off, and he's like, well, what? Pretty much goes, well, if it was anybody else, they wouldn't get off, and like, well, you're not anybody else, right. Harvey, you know. So, and then it leads. It sucks. I wish they didn't kill him off. Like I wanted more out of Two-Face, but you know they killed him off.
I was actually shocked. I was like, oh shit, they actually fucking killed him.
They did it.
Like I just expect it because it's Two-Face.
Yeah.
Like I know he's not. Now he's an A caliber villain, but when he was made up, it's like no, it's just whatever B tier, C tier villain for Batman. And
but he was a mainstay, you know.
But that's for the last 2005, almost fucking 20 years. Two-Face has been a thing. Regardless, like from 92 all the way forwards, it's like yeah, Two-Face is a A-list Batman villain. But yeah, they killed him. I do like episode 10 quite a bit because it's like GCPD, Batman, and Thorne's people.
Yeah.
So Thorne's trying to kill Dent, and then they pull stuff from the Dark Knight where it's like, oh, I'll be fine, and he gets into the van or whatever, and then Barbara saves him. Barbara's trying to save him. He doesn't want Barbara to be his lawyer. Arkham Asylum one's kind of fun too. Like it's all clean and shit. Kind of weird. And Harvey's not like a crazy person. He's just kind of someone there.
He just snapped
because he picked up that teddy bear. Yeah.
Like especially that end fight. It was like a lot of stakes, and curious if by this point, you know, with Harvey and Bullock and Flash, like at this point, like they got caught red-handed. Like there's no way they make it past this, you know.
Well, even in we didn't cover this in the Firebug episode, but Batman's wanted because he's a vigilante, and the police commissioner's sick and tired of it, or the mayor's tired of it, and tells Gordon, hey, we need to get Batman off the streets because he's vigilante, breaking the law, blah, 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 blah. But Flash and Bullock release Firebug and fuck it up. And then the only reason that they don't get in trouble for it is because
they kill him.
I think it's O'Brien. Well, O'Brien catches that picture of Bullock in the window after they shoot Firebug and he falls to his death.
Yeah.
This one, it's just like, no, we're going to kidnap Dent.
Yeah.
And deliver him to Thorne personally or whatever.
And Gordon was right there and stopped him. Or he stopped Bullock at least. And then Flash shot him, which I love. Batman picked up the gun and shot around his head and then just pitches the gun pissed off after knocking him out.
Well, what's funny, so this is stupid, but I think it's hilarious. So you know they're Snyder cultists since we were talking about BVS, right? And they're like, oh, Zack Snyder doesn't get Batman. And then they have a picture of Ben Affleck as Batman holding the gun, and then that picture out of context, where it's just that frame of Batman with a pistol. And I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
That is out of context.
That's reaching. It's reaching at that point.
But it's also a nod to 40s Batman, because 40s Batman, which the design is based off of, didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He just shot people, or punched them, or hung them in some cases by the bat plane. Just, or that time that he in Joker's first appearance where he punched him, and then Joker dramatically falls on his own knife. Oh. They killed Joker. Jeez. Yeah, they killed Joker. They were like, "The fuck, guy in a bat suit. It's fine." Like he doesn't need supervillain type things, but no, Joker kills himself. On accident. Or unalives himself. I don't know. I don't know if this is getting uploaded to YouTube or not, or if
Yes.
Greg that's good.
Yeah. Edit things. I
Um,
don't care though. But yeah.
um, and then yeah, Flash shoots Dent, right? Or
Yeah.
tries to shoot Barbara, and
And
then
he jumps in the
Dent
way.
gets in the way. Yeah, and then he dies. Like what the fuck?
It's like, well, that sucks. I wish he didn't do that,
And
but
then Batman beats up Flash. Um, and then GCPD and Batman kind of have a working relationship. Not really. But Bruce is really upset about it because it's kind of that thing from Telltale where it's like with the Joker in that game, it's like you used him to a certain point and then it got them both fucked over type thing.
all right.
And then so Bruce feels guilty about it. Then he stops calling Alfred Pennyworth. Although in the Gentleman Ghost episode, fucking Gentleman Ghost violates Alfred in ways I've never seen before.
It possesses him and shit.
Yeah. And then everyone's like, what's the secret? There isn't. It was probably Bruce Wayne as Batman.
Yeah, that's what I
Not
was
that the
thinking.
ghost would give a fuck, but you know. But also they could do the criminal thing where, oh yeah, your mom and dad were criminals, like in the Batman or Telltale Batman, or I think it's in Harley Quinn too,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So they might have done that. But I don't know. I'm excited for season 2. I don't know if I'll be as hyped for season 2 as I was this. And then like I said, it's a good show. I don't think it's great. I think some of the writing is kind of meh, or it drags on. And I know it's for an older audience, but it's like, come on, guys.
I really liked it. I loved it. I'm excited
Oh.
for season 2.
We didn't talk about the teaser, the Joker teaser at the end. Because,
Yeah.
of course, I thought that was cool. I hope they do that. That'd be I like it where it's just like oh some dude laughing and it pans across people's faces just like half smiling and half deformed and dead and whatnot, and then it's one dude just laughing his ass off and then he dies with a smile, and then Joker's got a real deep voice. I don't know. They might be doing like OG Joker where Joker's just not happy and it's just like a gangster with a clown motif.
Possibly.
Any stories you want to see done in season 2? Just for shits and giggles.
Joker. They're gonna follow up with the Harley Quinn thing. Curious if they have them interact at all. Joker and Harley.
I wonder if maybe she'll get her black and red if they meet up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so she's got the green and yellow now, but if she works with Joker or for Joker or with Joker, however you want to phrase it, she'll get the black and red. And they'll be serious clowns or sad clowns or whatever you want to call them.
I'd love to see Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy. Maybe Man-Bat.
Man-Bat would be cool.
Yeah,
they could do more than they did in BTAS.
Yeah. I was trying to think. Maybe like I love like a murder mystery episode. I don't know. Maybe if you want to do like Zaz or Calendar Man or I learned about was it years and years ago. Someone told me about the Penny Murderer, or like pretty much he would kill guys and leave pennies at the scene. That was his motif.
Oh.
That's about it. I think he was just a murderer. Oh. He's just crazy. It's lame. I guess it's lame. So
he just kills people, whatever.
Yeah, you just probably would leave it with. You could probably just do that with Zaz or Calendar Man. Yeah. And probably have a better.
I mean, I'd like to see Zaz done where he's like in Arkham Asylum but escapes, but then dresses like Jack the Ripper or some shit. Like, some of the ones I'd like to see them do are kind of I'd like a Hugo Strange episode with the Monster Men. Like there's the Strange Days short, which has Kevin voicing Batman, but it looks exactly like this cartoon. So I'm like, that'd be cool to get a whole whole fucking episode of that. There's Detective Comics 31 and 32 where Batman fights a vampire,
Hmm.
which I'd be all ho hum and be like, hell yeah, because Julie, what the hell is her name? His girlfriend from the 40s or his first love from the original comics is in the Robin episode, so that was cool. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see more stuff, maybe more gang stuff. Maybe Penguin doing something else other than being a '60s Batman villain.
Scarecrow and Riddler would be cool too. It's just like
Yeah.
you could. A lot of like Batman's rogues gallery are so well known that like you could really pick
Right.
any of them. I'm just trying to think of like
Egghead from the '66 show. Just start doing the '66 show villains, but with different twists.
yeah, and you can be more mature with it as opposed to just over the top silly.
Right. I mean, King Tut was just kind of there.
That was a reference. That was just like one of those like. Let's see if anybody picks up on it. I feel like, which we did.
There were a couple references that I got. So when Harley and Montoya are supposed to go on their second date, Lewis and Lowry are the last names of the first actor and the second actor ever to play Batman. They played him in the 1943 serial and the 1949 serials. So I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. I know the clown in the Harley Quinn episode seems to be a reference to the first appearance of the Joker in Batman '66, which also was used for the inspiration for the clown mask in Dark Knight. I don't know. There's a lot of Dark Knight stuff in here and '66 stuff, which is a weird combination. But anyway, you guys should check it out, form your own opinions, tell us what we were wrong about, that type of stuff.
Yes, but
Cheers.
other than that, you can follow me on Twitter at Moondog Murray, Instagram, Facebook, Moondog Greg Murray. Then check out the other podcasts on your favorite listening apps. Check out my Bird and Buster Tea store for Moondog stuff. And then Zach.
So I'm gonna plug one of Greg's things. Y'all need to check it out because Greg had himself a WWF No Mercy moment and racked himself real good. It's got a bell sound and everything.
Oh. Jesus. The clank. All I heard was the clank.
Clank.
When I went down, all I heard was clank and the camera side going, oh, when I went down. I think there's a bruise there. I haven't checked, but I definitely feel something.
Was it because was it you that did it, or did he push you back far enough and you just landed wrong?
No, he hit the ropes and I went for it. He didn't do anything. It was all me. Usually, like, all the times I've done that, it's never happened. Or clank! Oh! That was rough.
But yeah, you can find me on X or Twitter or whatever it goes by nowadays at Noir1930 or Mark One, co-host of the Plastic People podcast, which smoothly ties into the Plastic People podcast, which is also hosted by us two fucking dweebs. What else? I think that's about it.
Alright.
We do Animations Anonymous and Mark Media, although Greg soloed because I wasn't going to go see Borderlands because it looked like ass. And it had a 0%. But
it's now up to 10. It's now up to 10.
Same bat time, same bat channel. Catch you guys later.
Yeah. Bye-bye.